You're listening to Biz-Souls, the business podcast with an edge, hosted by me, Rona Lewis, and Jeffrey Hansler. Tune in for perspectives and discoveries about the changing world of business. It's time to connect to the heart, soul, and humor of how business gets done.
We good? You comfy? Okay. Hello.
All set.
Hey kids, welcome to Biz-Souls. I'm Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler, and we get to the heart and soul of business and the people that make it happen.
And we're talking color today.
We are. We just had great guests. We just had some great guests.
We did. We had food wide. We had our buddy Nick Pantone on to talk about what was going on in the restaurant business and the bad behavior.
Right, and then we had Graham and Lee to talk about Mana chocolate.
Yeah.
Mana chocolate. And it's very exciting.
He said Mana, not me. It's Mana.
It's
Yell
Mana
at him,
chocolate.
guys. So, yeah. And
now we're talking about color.
we're talking about color.
Color.
And you guys know that we both read a lot of newsletters, things like that. So I get this
We
one.
read a wide variety of things.
Yeah.
We have a wide vast of subjects that we delve into.
Are you done? Can I? All right. So
There are things that we do.
shush now.
Okay.
So I was an art major my first couple of years. I have a lot of friends in the art world, a lot of awesome artists, and so I'm very aware of color. And we happen to be wearing color today. Jeffrey used to wear a lot of black, and he's doing what this article is. So there's this thing called the Big Think, and they do a podcast. They have a newsletter, and it talks about how the world has become grayer. And for a long time, it was very colorful, and gray took over the modern world. And now color may be returning, thank God. They have a picture of like Volkswagens and things like that from the 60s in these really wild, fabulous colors. And if you look on the highway, it's all black, gray, and white. And I was actually really pissed off because, I bought a new used car. It was new to me, but it was used. And it's, and I got a Lexus NX 300. Love the car. Don't love the color because it's a steel gray, and I wanted something that not a lot of people had. I wanted a color, and I couldn't find one. So I ended up getting this one. And I get comments from friends like, oh, well, if you get a color car, the cops will see you. So it's like you don't want to stand out. Well, fashion is standing out, even if you are in black. It's I think color stands for hope, and it is starting to come back little by little. And there are philosophers in this article, even from the 1900s, that talk about gray and monotones and things like that being what?
Did you not get enough time to talk on the other two podcasts?
No, I want to get it all out, and then I'm going to let you say. So they were saying that color is like for peasants, and it's not a global thing because culturally different. Different colors are attracted by different cultures. So the black, gray, and white is like worldfulness.
Yeah, who said that? That was in the article. That stood out for me too. It was about this guy who said, colors are for primitives.
Yeah,
they're for lower level.
I'm looking for it. It was
cultures.
Like 1908, I think it was.
So I had a good friend of mine, close relationship. I was a realtor, and
I found it.
I've got colors around the house. So I have the browns, saddle.
You name a color,
saddle
he has it
browns,
somewhere.
red. It's I'm talking the walls.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
have the mixed
You have
walls that were
earth
popular,
tones, though.
and I have a lot of earth tones because they're warm, and the earth tones are away. And she always wanted, let's paint a beige, and it's just like, and because that is, and by the way, it was not surprising to see beige or some form of beige is the most popular California color. They have a color map of the favorite colors.
And it was actually taken in color. And if at first glance, it looks like grays and blacks, and there's like just a tint, like light banana. It's almost.
Yeah, it's insane. So who's the guy? Who's the guy?
It says,
the guy.
Who the guy? In his 1908 essay, Ornament and Crime, Austrian architect Adolf Loos argued that ornamentation was not merely unnecessary, but a sign of arrested moral development. Truly evolved people, he suggested, would gravitate towards clean lines and plain surfaces. Applied ornament, including the use of color as decoration, didn't enhance, it cluttered and distracted. Distracted from what?
Right.
There's nothing there.
Now, that was a time, they got a picture of him, and he looks just like one of those people. That was a time with
Cranky.
eugenics, and they were talking about head shape and all this stuff where they were trying to define, superior races and things like that.
And he was targeting Art Nouveau. Can I say that again? Art Nouveau, which happens to be one of my favorite art periods. And it was colorful, it was ornate, it was fun.
Yeah.
And he was just
Starry Starry Night would not be the painting it is
No.
with if it was in black and white. Although to me, black is color. And it's a legitimate color. Well, I think part of the problem with cars now is they're doing so many things. They're standardized. It doesn't matter whether you get a high-end car or a lower-end new car.
I don't know.
They all are basically white, gray, and black.
Right.
If that. They do look funny in blue, like if they put that electric blue out, or I'm sure somebody. I'm partly colorblind, so full disclosure, it kept me out of the Air Force Academy.
Well, and what I don't know. Hopefully, you guys can see this. I'm putting it in the camera. They have a shot from 1980 of a parking lot, and there's 5 shades of yellow, a couple of shades of blue. There's a green car, a bunch of different shades of red, and then you scroll down. And this is 2025. It looks like a black and white photo, but it's not. And it's scary.
Yeah, the most color you see nowadays are at the protests, and they're usually different colors of hair.
Right. And and color is emotion. Color can be happy, color can be somber. And it's like your shirt is very bright, and it's zippy, it's exciting, and this is pink, so it's a little softer.
Yeah.
So color is emotional, and I think we have been in a time of fear and insecurity, so that that lack of color reflects it, and I think we are. Things are a little crappy all over, and people are still. It's like we're going to get through this, and let's bring a little color back for that hope and
Absolutely.
things like that. So I don't. It's my mom was an interior designer, and I understand when people are selling homes, they keep it as beige as possible so that people can put their own ideas in a space and just understand that this is how much room a couch takes up, and they can picture it as furnished. And there are people who will decorate their whole entire house all white because they have art and they want the art to stand out. So there are reasons for doing that.
Well, and I understand. So I stayed at a friend's house in Stanton, Connecticut, and it was very kind of colonial, East Coast type. It was right on the shore, and then you walk into their library, and it was this red, and it was this very a lot of, it wasn't purple. It was just this red that kind of jumped out of you. And it did have like, to me, it had blue hints in it. And it was just like you'd walk in the room and all of a sudden, oh, I mean, it would affect you could feel your heart picking up pace because the rest of the house was calm and serene, kind of the pastels that you've got going on. By the way, the pastels look really good. The pink and then the light blue.
I have light blue jeans on.
They're not penny loafers. They're a muted brown, and that's nice.
Yeah, they actually sling back penny loafers.
And then your hat goes really well with that, and then with the black hair. I
was an art major in my first 2 years, so yeah, it's colors.
You look rather artsy.
Thank you.
Artsy.
I always look artsy. So to the point, we were just saying that colors coming in, that it says the world is darkest or grayest just before the dawn. There are signs that the graying has peaked. As the colors of the year 2025, Pantone chose Mocha Mousse, a warm brown. Beige selected Rumors, a deep ruby red, and Valspar picked Encore, a rich navy blue. Design professionals are noting rising demand for terracotta and clay-inspired hues. So they're not going like, oh my gosh, it's going to be neon red. My friend Nancy, who is an artist and she's done an interior design. They're totally redoing their house, and in her bathroom she's got an orange sink.
Yeah.
And people are coming up with clever ways to use color that's not necessarily in your face, because there is a sense. I was up in Northern California, in Sacramento, and I stopped to see my friend Jennifer, who is her whole house is mid-century modern. Now, the 50s, there are a ton of color. The Coca-Cola was huge in the 50s, that bright red. And you look at all around her house, there's bright blues and reds and oranges, and you could see remember the lava lamps and all the obnoxious colors. Yeah. She has those all over, and the house is so happy when you walk in, and and she said, yes, I it's a little overboard, and it is, because she does tours through her house, and people buy stuff like off her walls, and because she's like, people are aching for a little brightness and color in their life right now.
I agree. Laughing, the 60s. Oh my God, it was great.
The big
a lot of greens, a lot of yellows, a lot of, and they were still, it wasn't AI. It wasn't easy to generate that stuff. And printing was a 4-color process on that. So it was very, very expensive.
Yeah. When I was growing up, my mom wallpapered my wall. So I had the north and south were yellow and white striped, and the east and west were floral, big, bright colors with that same color yellow, and I was actually still able to sleep in it, and it was just a fun room. It was still very girly, and I had a big yellow bedspread and things like that. And people nowadays, even little kids, or as they're growing older, they don't do that so much anymore.
We had this we moved to the East Coast, and the house we got, I think it was built in the 70s, early 70s. Oh, god awful. Huge, like almost Hawaiian flowers, and it was red, and it was god awful. I wanted to, no, my dad, it's fine. It's perfectly functional, leave it. And it was just like, and they had wallpaper all around the walls. And, I would have loved to have peeled the whole thing and gotten it.
You're not a wallpaper person.
No.
And it's anyway, and that too is making a comeback.
So psychologically, I actually think the prediction's wrong. I think that, the journey into space, I think we're getting more utilitarian. I think more with AI. With the factory and the systematic stuff. I don't see car manufacturers starting to introduce a lot of different cars. Tesla went out steel gray, and then there are other options, black or white.
You mean the
or
can
something
opener?
Like that. The
that giant can opener? And
everything's homogenized. All the little SUVs look just alike. Doesn't matter if you get a high end or one of the new upstarts coming in. So Anyway.
Well, it says.
I think we should put a fork in this, though. We're pretty much done, unless they want to find out about more of your history of color and things like that as an art student.
Well, studies suggest that there's something to that colloquial association between gray and depression. So that may be why people want to start having a little bit more colors.
And I like change. Another friend of mine, dog house sits for dogs, and invited me over, and they've got shabby chic. It's white walls, and then they've got the chandelier that's got the pearls on it and the other stuff, and it looks dated to me.
Well, yes, and I think there is a tasteful way to have, even if you really want to play it safe and do neutrals, you add color by putting in colors in the curtains or pillows, things like that are changeable. I mean, my bedroom is deep purple with gray, still very calming, and that aubergine is still it's a very saturated color, and it's fabulous. So and there is a lot of psychology to color, and I think it's meant to be seen. So we'll see what this. So anyway, and that's it for us. If you have an opinion on color, let us know. Write it in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the button. Every little bit helps. Hype us, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know what other things they can do to get us out there. Anyway, that's it for us. I'm Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler.
And this has been Biz-Souls. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Biz-Souls podcast with your hosts, Rona Lewis and Jeffrey Hansler. Did you have fun? Subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Talk to you next week.